Hellhound 30 coming at you one more time. I want to. I was trying to figure out I was trying to figure out how to categorize Bayonetta, but ultimately, after thinking about it, and I think it's definitely one of those games that you should play this generation. And I'm gonna go ahead and categorize it in my vids, games that you should play. I was gonna do a quick review on it, but I really enjoyed myself with Bayonetta. I really liked it. I had a fun time playing it, and I plan to go back into the world of Bayonetta, and hopefully sooner or later I'll plat it as soon as I have a chance. But definitely, I recommend this game. I give it an 8.7 out of 10. I mean, and that's because the PS3 is a floppy port, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But Bayonetta is definitely. If I could summarize what Bayonetta really is in one sentence, it would have to be: if Dante from Devil May Cry had a little sister or an older sister, Bayonetta would definitely be her, because it inherits the same attributes found in Devil May Cry series, like the quirky humor, the over-the-top action sequences. Bayonetta has it, and it has it in freaking bin loads, man. I mean, it's really freaking cool. I mean, shit, what else can you say about Bayonetta other than the fact that I had a good time playing it? I was really intrigued by the characters. I didn't get bored at any time. The pacing kind of goes off here and there, but for the most part, they did a really good job with the story. The art direction was awesome. I mean, the stiletto heels, come on, dude, those are fucking cool, man. You got those stiletto heels with the fucking guns on them. That is fucking sick. I fucking loved Bayonetta. I fell in love with the world of Bayonetta, and I think ultimately Platinum Games did an incredible job doing it, or I think they did a good job developing this game. As far as I know, I don't know too much into the history of Bayonetta. What I do know is kind of word of mouth. I haven't really had a chance to research it, but last time I heard, or last time I read, I'm not sure if I read this or I heard this from someone, but a lot of the guys that used to be with Clover Studios was also with Capcom. Okay, well, guys from Capcom who worked on Devil May Cry, worked on Resident Evil, went and started their own studio called Clover Studios. Out of that came Okami, Beautiful Joe, and a lot of really cool games, really tight, really polished, really Capcom quality games. Well, Clover Studios got shut down by Capcom, and some of the developers went back to Capcom, and some of the other developers went to go work for Sega. I think it's either Little Tokyo Dreams or Platinum Games, I think it was. I'm not sure who was the one that ported them, but Platinum Games or one of them, the studio, the core developers, and there were guys that worked on Devil May Cry, worked on Resident Evil, worked on a lot of those games, and you'll be seeing a lot of that kind of reminiscence, or you'll be a lot of little reminiscent remarks, a lot of little gestures, or a lot of little hidden things in the background. Like there's a part in when you go to Hell's Gate and you're talking to basically your weapons dealer, Bayonetta. You look at the font they use for Gates of Hell for the name of the bar, and it's the same font they use for the Devil May Cry series. When you go to Devil May Cry, to his bar, to his agency. Another thing is there's a part where she comes in and she's gonna get her weapons or whatnot, and he says, he kind of quotes the weapons dealer from Resident Evil 4. What are you buying? He kind of does that, and he goes, I heard that in the game once. So I think they did it on purpose, and I think they kind of did a lot of that stuff on purpose to try and kind of let people know, hey, we're the people who worked on these games. Now we're working for Sega. Now we're making this game. We're making Bayonetta. And let me tell you what, Bayonetta is fucking badass. I loved it. There's just the controls feel so tight. They feel so solid. I mean, the gameplay mechanics are awesome. It feels like a fighting game a lot, It feels like an action hack and slash game, but it's much more than that. It feels like there's more depth to it than just pressing a punch button and pressing a kick button. It feels almost like Tekken, and it just feels a little more complicated than the average hack and slash game. And there's just a lot more to it, and it feels like a fighting game a lot to me. And I mean, essentially that's what it is, yeah. But I mean, it just feels more like a fighting game. I don't know, man. It just felt like a lot like Tekken to me in a weird way. Not that it is like Tekken, but to me it felt like it. Okay, but more fast, more vicious, and more ferocious. Definitely, the gameplay is really incredible. It's just fluid. I mean, I just had a great time playing this fucking game. You don't even understand how much I enjoyed this game. It felt good to actually sit down and play a Japanese style game. I mean, seriously. I mean, all this time and just playing all this other stuff that's just like all this Midwestern crap that just seems to be flooding the freaking game industry right now. It felt good for me to sit down and play a Japanese style game with the freaking music. You can tell it's from Japan, the gameplay, the overall immersion, the quality of the game. Everything in Bayonetta, I fucking adored it. I loved it, and I think, you know, you guys should pick it up definitely and try it out. You know, if not, rent it, give it a shot, man. But I think it's definitely one of those games that you need to play this generation. It's definitely a good game. I'm not going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it an 8.7. As far as overall art design goes, I give it a 10. As far as music goes, I give it a 9.5. As far as the gameplay mechanics, I give it a 10. I mean, overall, the entire story, I give it a 10. The only thing that holds this game back, ultimately, and this is the meat of the bones of this game you should play, is the fact that they did a sloppy job porting this game over to the PlayStation 3, and it's really sad when you sit there and realize how or underutilized the PlayStation 3 is. Me being such a big PlayStation fan, knowing that they could have pushed more out of the PlayStation 3, knowing that it could be the spectacular port that it should be, they couldn't get it right. They didn't take the time to do the extra polishing. While the game engine, everything else was running correctly, but it takes a while to load and get onto screen. And even then, when you press this pause screen, it takes a while to load that up. I mean, and you go into the menu interface, it takes a while to load that up. It's kind of frustrating.
Bayonetta.
It's aggravating at times, especially when you're dying over and over again, and you have to sit there and you have to wait for it to reload the whole damn level again. And there's gonna be those spots where you're playing and you're going to die, and you have to wait. You have to freaking wait through all that loading time, and it's gonna happen like 5 or 6 times. You gotta have patience with it. And those are the times that I really didn't like Bayonetta as much. But I realized, you know, it's not really Platinum Games, you know, it's not their fault. It's Sega's sloppy port, man. It's the fact, like, it's just people don't want to spend the extra money to figure out the architecture. And the sad part is, once they figured it out, it's a done deal. Look at Naughty Dog, the first, you know. Sorry, I'm going off subject here, but look at Naughty Dog, you know, when they did with Uncharted, and they went with Uncharted 2, and look how great Uncharted 2 turned out. I mean, imagine how Uncharted 3 is going to turn out. It's going to be incredible, you know. So, ultimately, I give Bayonetta 8.7. It could have been a 9 instead of a 10. You know, it's just lacking in that area, and I just think that ultimately it was a good game, and I think you guys should try it. Definitely give it a rent. Hellhound 30X out, and